As we've just seen, drugs make your problems go away. So make it the best day possible. Remember, it's drugs that counts. Take one and take a chance.
Saturday morning cartoons.
Please welcome Max Headshrew, Dell, Aria Blackness, and your most gracious host, Ben Motherfucking Jackson. Applause. Applause. Applause.
It's me, motherfucking. Some people call me Ben for short. How you guys doing today? Yo, watch these crazy animes. In my opinion, these are like the top anime that there is, especially if we're talking about OVAs or like limited runs. I could think of some other ones like Yu Yu Hakusho, Gundam Wing, even Dragon Ball Z, maybe, that are overall probably better anime. But as far as like a certain aesthetic that we're talking about today, short, short OVA movie style anime with adult themes, you can't beat these two. What do you guys think?
Yeah, it's odd because over in I think in sort of between 1993 and 1994, where they both came out, and they were both made by the same guy. There was some of the only ones that you could get in England at the time, anyway. So I think I sort of grew up between sort of 13 and 15, consistently watching them over and over again. And then when anime and manga became sort of more widespread and you could get hold of it easier, it was sort of disappointing, sort of taking in some of the sort of subpar versions of it. And I think a lot of the reasons for that is because when Cyber City came over initially, the way it was dubbed and the way the music was done for it was completely different to the way it was done before or after, because it proved too expensive. They really put the effort into give the characters like actual character. And I think from what I gather, the way they used to dub anime back in the day was that to save money in the recording studio, they would have the voiceover guys come in, watch the anime, and they would have the script scrolling at the bottom of the screen, and they would just read off. And assuming they didn't fuck up the line or cough or something, then that's what you'd get, which is why it all sounded plain. And pretty much like it was being read off. But for Cyber City specifically, I don't even think they read the script. They watched the 3 volumes on in a different language, and it's pretty easy to follow the story, and then wrote a full script. And I think they even changed the music, like the UK version. Sort of there's a little cult following for the UK version. With the rock, the heavy rock theme tune, and I think usually that's the one that everybody's looking for.
Rory McFarlane. Yeah, something interesting with that. See, I always watch anime with subtitles, so I don't know what you mean about the dubbing.
Oh, but it's good now, but it used to be awful.
Okay. See, was it good for this one?
Yeah. Really
I
good.
see. So this was like one of the first ones that was taken seriously when dubbed.
Absolutely.
That makes sense because I've considered rewatching Cyber City with the UK version, because I feel like most people are familiar with that version. It's because, like you said, it was one of the only anime around in the UK back then. So I think a lot of people from the UK were really familiar with these anime. And I'm curious about the music by Rory McFarlane. No relation.
Yeah. Which one did you listen to? Did you watch the UK version?
No, I didn't. I just watched the subtitled version, and I always do that.
Ah, right. So part of the sort of attraction for this is because the the audio is just, it's hilarious, like really, really good. And I'm pretty sure the UK version is the one that Aria watched, right, Aria?
Yeah. With the heavy metal music and the abhorrent swearing.
That's the one. Yeah.
That sounds pretty cool, man. I'll check out that music. Maybe at the end of the show we'll put on some of that music.
From what I understand, they added the heavy metal and the swearing to emulate what Hollywood was doing in live action movies at the time.
Yeah, so absolutely.
A lot of like hyper, like super gritty.
So they're swearing a lot. Were they always calling Benton
like
fag?
straight away, the opening scene, they drop a hard F-bomb, and I was like, I have never watched an anime before that isn't somewhat intended for kids to consume it. So dropping a hard F-bomb straight away, I was like, whoa, this ain't what I was expecting.
It's the closest sort of cross that it was when they were trying to figure out who their actual audience was for manga in the mid-90s, early to early 90s. So it's got this weird sort of crossover between manga and there's a bit of heavy metal in it. But the amount of times that they call each other a cocksucker is fucking, it's just hilarious, mate.
I see you backstage, Johnny. I see you, Chris. We'll get to you just in a second. Let's talk about the other show that we're going to be comparing. That one is called Jubi Shubaraba Shubuj Wamalama Ding Dong, or otherwise known as Ninja Scroll.
Yeah.
What did you guys think about that one?
Yeah, I love it, yeah. It perhaps didn't have quite the same impact on me.
Are you leaning towards Cyber City?
I watched them. I can't remember which one I watched.
I'm torn, man. I'm in love with both of these. I think they're both pretty phenomenal. And I usually such a nitpicker about story and things like that, but
they're solid, aren't they?
They're solid. They're fucking good. What you think, Aria?
Like if you were, since they're both the same director, they're so similar. So it comes down to, do you like sci-fi or do you like ninjas? And I'm always going to go sci-fi on that one. Although I will say, I really like the bad guys in what do you call it? I've already forgot the name. I've gone blank. Scroll.
Ninja Scroll.
Ninja Scroll. There we go.
Just cybers and ninjas. That's all.
Yeah. So I prefer Cyber City overall, but Ninja Scroll, I do like the characters in that. Particularly,
Ninja Scroll was dope. I have a lot to say about both of them. I don't have a case for which one's better. I hope you can help me with that. But I have a lot of notes on each one of the things that I thought was particularly cool about them. So anything else, Max? Which one's better?
I think I'm biased, but I'd have to go for Ninja Scroll just because I find it a lot funnier. Like I think art wise and design wise they're about on par. I think story wise they're about on par. Although I do think Cyber City perhaps tails off a little bit on the third episode compared to the first two. Yeah, but it's just you got to listen to that audio, mate. It just adds a whole new, a whole new element. And like to a 13-year-old boy, I just remember. There was a thing on TV in the UK.
I didn't realize that the cussing was so impactful.
Yeah.
Well, for
it's so prevalent
in England in 1994 or 3, it was like because there was just nothing like that about, and I'm sure it was on Channel 4. They used to have this thing called Late License, where it was like 1 a.m, and they would show, those sorts of different things. And I'd heard about manga, but I'd never actually seen it. So I stayed and recorded it and watched it. It just blew my mind.
So Arya says Cyber City's better just because he likes cyberpunk and sci-fi, and Max says that Ninja Scroll is just a tad better because slightly more interesting characters, slightly more cohesive conclusion.
No, I'm Cyber City.
Oh, you're Cyber City as well.
Yeah.
I thought you said you preferred the Ninja Scroll.
No.
All right, let's get Gianni.
Ben.
I don't know. I was hoping the two of you would disagree, so it would be up to my caprice to determine which one's better. I don't know. I can't say which one's better as of yet. I like them both. They're both 5 stars. Let's get Gianni and Chris in here. It would be awesome if you disagreed with each other. But
let's get to Ninja Scroll fans.
But we'll see. Hello, Gianni. Hello, Chris.
Hey guys.
Hello.
Hello.
What's better, Cyber City or Ninja Scroll?
I'm gonna have to say Ninja Scroll all the way.
I knew he'd disagree with me
And why is that, Johnny?
because he talks shit.
When you look at Ninja Scroll, you have to look behind the history, behind the characters, the story, the music, the animation, the complex philosophy going behind it.
Okay, tell us about the history and the philosophy and the complex philosophy behind it.
So the idea behind Ninja Scroll is that it's all based on the Edo period of Japanese demons, like the rock demon. You've got the crazy snake lady who's notorious for what she does. But it's more about the combination of romance, action, and comedy in one anime that's not been done before. Sure enough, you've got Akira, you've got Wicked City that came in '87, you've got Berserk. But what the director does with Ninja Scroll that's so much better than Summer City is that Ninja Scroll compounds a lot more drama into it for a mainstream audience, not just a Western Japanese audience. What Cyber City does is it's just going towards Japanese politics that's saying our future will become very dangerous, become very unknown, because with Asian countries like that, you're going to have a lot
Well, Johnny, it isn't obvious to me that the post-apocalyptic horrors of Cyber City, most notably the convicts having collars around their necks that can be destroyed at any moment, it isn't obvious to me that any of that's particularly would be more impactful to a Japanese audience than anyone else. Maybe I'm missing something. And also, there's plenty of comedy. You said Ninja Scroll is better because of one of the reasons was because of the combination of comedy and romance. There's romance and there's comedy in Cyber City.
There is, but I think with Ninja Scroll does it more based on being unforced. With Cyber City, it felt very forced, and it felt like it was trying to attract younger.
Can you give me an exact indication as to why the futuristic horror elements of Cyber City would be more applicable to a Japanese audience?
So it's all based around the police service, and it's all based around how robot artificial intelligence has become a much more increased feature of Japan with their crime activity and stuff, and obviously known for being a very polite world. But when you take the history of their politics and their political agenda towards certain things that countries like United Kingdom or America would do differently, it's much more.
You're saying that the robot thing is more in line with the direction technologically that Japan is going.
Yes, because they are very technologically advanced in any other country. I mean, you look at their technology they've got now.
All right, that's a point for Ninja Scroll. Last question, Johnny, and then I'll ask Chris. What about the comedy? Convince me in 1 minute or less that the comedy in Cyber City is forced.
Forced nature of jokes and the deadpan humor comes very unrealistic. Ninja Scroll, you've got a lot more scenarios where you can relate to human impact, whereas Cyber City is very seen before, it's repetitious.
Sounds a little bit arbitrary. Max, I'll let you respond to that.
Yeah, I've got to disagree with that because the relationship between Sengoku and his missus directly mirrors the relationship between me and my wife. And that is not an observation that I made. That is an observation that she makes because I talk to her like shit all the time. Not that I don't love her, it's just the way I am.
That's just affection.
Yeah,
Chris,
yeah.
I haven't let you talk at all. Johnny, those are really good points. I really appreciate it. That really
nice
adds
one,
to the show a lot. Chris, what do you have to say? Which show's better and why?
So I'm gonna have to take a little bit of a punt because I didn't watch Ninja Scroll.
All right, well then get the fuck off this show.
But thanks to
No, I'm just kidding, dude. I'm only joking. You go ahead. Tell me what you want.
No, thanks to Max,
City.
I did watch Cyber City this week, and I really liked it. I'd never seen it before. I think kind of similar to Max not seeing Dragon Ball Z before you guys did that show.
Yeah, that's okay.
He texted me this week and said, "Hey, this is what we're doing. Go watch the fucking show," and so I did, and I really liked it. It did make me think a little bit, and I texted this to Max that it's basically Japanese Suicide Squad, and he replied, "Yeah, but not shit."
Yeah, but not shit. Exactly.
That's true.
That's a point for Cyber because it's Suicide Squad, but not shit.
Yeah, but it also made me think about, my kind of belief that originality is kind of bullshit and it's all about execution. And I think they executed it really well, and it's really entertaining. And I didn't even get to watch the whole series this week because it was all in 1 week and life kind of takes over. But it was. I'm going to go back and finish watching it, and I want to watch Ninja Scroll now after.
It's a close call, man. Like,
give me 1 second, boys.
It's a really difficult one to call. It's made by the same guy. Like, it's just as solid, but it's just set in a different arena. Yeah. So you could argue about it all day. I can see why Gianni likes Ninja Scroll, partly because at the moment he does look like a samurai.
Oh, thank you.
I just realised.
If you'd asked me the same question when I was like a teenager, I probably would have gone Ninja Scroll because I was totally more into that theme. But Cyber City strikes me as Suicide Squad if it was set in the world of Blade Runner. And now that I'm older and I'm into all these like 80s synthy vibes, that is like totally up my alley.
A mate of mine that I'm trying to get on the show actually. I don't know if he's got the link. He did a review of Cyber City, and he said when he watched it at about 14, he felt like it's what he wanted Akira to be at the time. If you watch Akira like now, it's a great film.
Yeah.
It's really well animated. Probably better animated than Cyber City, but it's a very adult sort of themed manga. Here he is. In fact, you can finish, Big Buddha. Exactly what I was just about to say. Did you get what I was just saying then?
You were just going over my video. Basically.
Yeah, I was. Yeah. But you can finish it. Go on.
Yeah. So I've known Max for about 20 years now, and probably about 6 months before we both met, we both saw Cyber City, Oedo 808 on. It was like 1 a.m, wasn't it, on Channel 4?
Yeah.
This thing called Late License, and I think we both had this similar experience with it. It completely blew our minds. Like, what is this? This is the most awesome thing I'd ever seen. It was so unashamedly bombastic, and it had it looked like Blade Runner, but it had sort of like the sensibility of Die Hard.
It looked like Blade Runner, but it has the sensibility of Die Hard. I like that. And I would add to that, Buddha, that there is also this there's also an element of horror in that show. I mean, the fact that it sort of reminds me of stories like Brazil in 1984, actually, because it has this sort of kind of theme throughout that the overlord, the sort of elite ruling overlord, completely controls everybody and our well-being, and can kill us on a whim at any moment. And as they kind of complete these missions, they realize that the sort of ruling class is really corrupt and doing some really fucked up shit, and they turn on each other suddenly, and there's like 1 second the mission is save this guy, and then they find out what he did, and it's like right now the mission is kill him, and so that's kind of scary as well. But I think that the show really blends all of those elements together well. All right.
Yeah, very much so. Isn't it the first episode where the villain turns out to have been dead for 20 years?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Hamachi.
That's really cool. He's like a cyborg undead.
You guys can remember the names, and that like
just gone silent.
all the names.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, Arya.
Yeah, but I just know what they look like, and then
so Benton is your favorite Arya, the guy behind Arya.
He's the only one I remember.
Yeah, he's like the feminine guy. Sengoku is the one that's a dipshit to his missus, and Gogol's the really hard one with the Mohican, who is essentially my fan. I always looked at it. It's a bit like, I mean, you can reference it to all sorts of media, can't you? Like it's got a bit of Sin City in it. Like the Gogol episode is basically, to me, it was Gogol's the Marv of Cyber City. He is to Cyber City what sort of Marv is to Sin City.
Man, I can't. It's hilarious. The character's called Goggles, and in the subtitled version, they're always saying his name. They call him Guguru.
Yeah, and in the dubbed version, they call him Gogol.
Gogol, yeah.
Gogol.
So you've got Japanese people trying to say goggle, sounds like Guguru, and you've got English people trying to say goggle, and it sounds like goggle. Nobody can say fucking goggles.
No, but I definitely urge you to watch the British link versions, especially like the arguments he has with the robot. It's fucking hilarious.
That's really funny, which is why I can't entertain for a second the notion that Ninja Scroll is funnier than Cyber City. That's not true. Varsus is a hilarious character. Yeah, the way that they talk shit with the AI, that's kind of like the sort of the C-3PO kind of character.
You see, I knew Gianni was going to come in here and mess things up by being the odd one out. I knew it, G. I said it at the beginning.
I don't know what lacist is, but I take your word for it. So I've given a point to Cyber City off the bat. Chris convinced me of that because of the blended genres. Nice job. I've given a point to Ninja Scroll as well because of Johnny talking about how in Cyber City it has a more universal appeal than Ninja Scroll because of the robots or whatever. I didn't take good notes, but I think it sounded good at the time. And then so
it was convincing.
He convinced me long enough for me to put a tally in my notebook. So I've got story, characters, fighting, sexiness, and weird shit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5 categories. So let's all agree right now we're only going to give 1 point for each of these. So we'll go story. We got to get through this. We want to make the show an hour 15, something like that.
Okay.
So story. Which one's better? Story-wise.
Shit, man.
John,
I think if this comes down to democracy, then Johnny's going to lose every time.
It's not a democracy. It's not a democracy. I am a benevolent and fair dictator. I determine the scores, but I base my scores on salient points made.
I'm gonna swing Cyber City purely because there's 3 episodes as opposed to 2, right? So
that doesn't mean it's a better story, mate.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, if you were to just compare one episode, I think they're all good. I think the third one's the weakest, although I still like it. But I think they're all good, and I think they're about equal to Ninja Scroll. So I'm giving it to Cyber City because there's 3 of them instead of 1.
Because there's more story. Well, that actually makes sense.
But let me ask: Can I? The big question on that then is: after the 2 episodes of Ninja Scroll, did it leave you wanting to see a third, or
So
were
we're
you
not-
satisfied after 2?
Well, we're on about the movie Ninja Scroll. The series is a year after, and we haven't watched
Okay,
that.
well, but you were comparing and saying that Ninja Scroll had 2 episodes where Cyber City had 3.
No,
Ben made a very
Ninja
good
Scrolls.
point that doesn't mean better.
Ninja
No,
Scrolls
no.
one movie.
Yeah, Ninja
Okay.
Scrolls one movie, and Cyber City is the 3 episodes. It was weird that the way that Cyber City worked. I think they brought it out. They were trying to. It was like an experiment for the video market, which is why they brought it out in those 3 sections.
Yeah, I noticed that it was.
I
3,
think
like,
the
really
reason for the
long
format is because there are three agents,
Mm.
and so
each one
each
is
of the
their own.
episodes, all 3 of them appear in all 3, but each of the episodes focuses more on one of
one
the
guy.
characters. Yeah.
So if you had it, let's just pretend that it's just one.
I mean, they do follow a chronology. the 3.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
They,
Fuck,
yeah,
I don't
they all
know,
have, each episode has similar beats, and they all kind of end with the hero getting badly beat up and then refusing to stay down before they win, and that's the kind of
It's a cliche.
it's a cliche, but that's like how you taught your morals and all that through
Mhm.
visual mediums.
Jay, what are you thinking?
I'm gonna be honest and saying Ninja Scroll shitty because it engaged me more, not just by the dialogue, but because it's consistently flowing throughout that it's about a man who's going on a journey just to mind his own business, but then he's hired to kill these demons. But yeah, the inner 14-year-old in me is saying Ninja Scroll.
Why though? Why is it a better story? I mean, okay. I don't think we need to worry so much about how many episodes and how many stories. It doesn't matter. If Cyber City Oedo is taken as one story, all 3, or if you take any of the 3, or pick your favorite one of the 3, the effect is the same. The song remains the same as Led Zeppelin would say. The point is, as Aria said, it's a story of a post-apocalyptic nightmare cyberpunk situation where a criminal has to work as a police officer, overcomes adversity, and is nearly destroyed by an immensely powerful adversary, and then does so, which is kind of the same beats as Ninja Scroll, actually. But then there's these kinds of elements thrown in. I mean, the sort of skeleton of the story is an outcast warrior is trying to mind his own business, forced into a massive fight, overcomes all odds. I'm leaning towards Ninja Scroll just because the enemy is revealed to have a connection to his past.
Yeah,
The protagonist, which we didn't really see in Cyber City.
definitely unexpected when you see that happen as well.
Well, fuck you. I'm going with Cyber City, and that is my answer and my reason.
I'm with Max on this one.
Well, tell me why, Aria.
Well, obviously, I'm basing my opinions on Ninja Scroll off the Wikipedia description of the plot. And
Well, I'm convinced.
Yeah.
No.
Okay,
Don't tell me why Ninja Scroll is inferior. Tell me why Cyber City is a good story, and not just another. I'm super badass. I have to fight a monster. I can't do it. No, yes, I can do it. Tell me why it's more than that.
They're the same thing, aren't they? It's just sci-fi monster or demon monster. It's like
there's a more optimistic mood in Ninja Scroll, and and that my personal preference isn't that optimistic mood. I like the pessimism of Cyber City because that's who I am.
Pessimism and realism. Yeah.
There's a grit to Cyber City that
there's something bitter about it. Yeah, because when Sengoku completes the mission in the first episode, and then has his sentence actually increased
Yeah,
because
I
he
love
didn't take orders and was like disrespectful or some bullshit.
Yeah,
That's like a kick in the gut, isn't it? Because you're like,
yeah.
well, maybe eventually he'll win his freedom by completing enough missions, and then it's
Well,
like
it sort of hints that they're going to be stuck in this job forever, doesn't it?
exactly,
They
and
never-
they're gonna die in it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's would you say Cyber City is a day in the life kind of story?
Yes.
Because I mean, you would imagine that
quite literally.
you know, next day they've got another bad guy they've got to take care of. Whereas from what I know of Ninja Scroll, this is like the guy's big adventure.
Yeah, and then the adventure is very much over
Yeah.
at the end of Ninja Scroll.
Well, so Dubai,
like Cyber City's like a Monster of the Week TV show,
Right.
kind of.
absolutely, and that's I think originally it was created to have this continuation, but I don't think it hit very well at the time with audiences, so it never was. But in the same sort of aspect, Dubai in Ninja Scroll, he's kung fu. He's the guy that wanders to different towns, solving different problems. You know, the movie makes the beginning of an end of the story, but the end of the story starts how it begins. You know, with him walking into the dust with his hat on and his blanket and that. He's basically the man with Clint Eastwood's the man with no name, isn't he? So you assume, he's off on his next adventure. It could be something brand new. So they both can be serialized. They both have that potential to be serialized. The more you deconstruct both of them, the more you sort of realize, they came from the same mind. But I'm going with Cyber City for that reason, for the initial reason, the fuck you reason,
Yeah.
the shallow reason.
Matt said so.
Yeah.
We'll come back to story as a possible tiebreaker. Nobody's convinced me, man. All right, characters. Which show has got cooler characters?
Cyber City.
There's those like kami, yokai, monster ninja enemies from Ninja Scroll, which I thought were cool, and then there's the cybernetic monsters in Cyber City. But Cyber City also has more good guy characters. Max and Aria, strong push for Cyber City.
Actually, I might change my answer because I just every time when you said that, I'm only thinking about the good guys. With the Ninja Scroll has better bad guys.
Should we do two different categories?
Issue on that. Ninja
Should we
Scroll
do good
has
guys
a
and bad
variety
guys?
of bad guys. However, the cyborg in episode 2 of Cyber City is the coolest thing I've ever seen.
That was fucking cool.
Shit, isn't it?
Yeah.
Malkos. Not a good name.
Project
Malkos. It was like this really contrived acronym, in fact. It was like mechanic, obstinate, lethargic, cybernetic, something crazy like that. Anyways, so you guys say that ninjas? Wait, so which one has better characters again, all right?
I'm going Cyber City. I'm going Cyber City because the only standout character for me in Ninja Scroll was the sexy snake lady, for obvious reasons.
Sexy snake lady's cool.
Yeah, she's the only one whose powers I thought were really interesting.
Vag snake.
Yeah, Vag snake.
Really interesting.
But
keeps all the snakes in her vagina.
Mm-hmm.
They come out of her vagina and they go at you.
But then in Cyber City, they've got sexy vampire lady, so it balances out. And then on top of that, you've got the cool cyborg. You've got
the vampire lady was boring in my opinion.
She was boring, but
she weren't sexy.
She weren't sexy.
She was more fragile, weren't she?
And then the big bad vampire, like reborn vampire, such a cliche, man. That was just Castlevania in a space station. Yeah, I don't know. It didn't blow me away. But the villains of the first and the second Cyber Cities, I thought were really, really cool. Especially the first, actually. That was my favorite. Just a skull. Just a reanimated skull controlling like a mech. I thought that was a really cool idea. And I thought it was cool the way that Sengoku fought it. Because it was like reading and anticipating his movements because it was artificial intelligence. And then he would just walk right at it and not be predictable.
If you want to add an extra layer of coolness to that scene, you got to watch the dub version.
Oh, yeah.
Because
Why does he say?
the
Does he
shit that
say cocksucker a lot?
he does, yeah,
Yeah, that makes it better.
it's fucking hilarious.
That brings up just a quick question for you guys that are more kind of experienced with anime. Do you prefer to watch it subtitled or dubbed?
I hate dub. I never watch anything dubbed.
It really depends
Yeah.
on the quality of the dub. Like this one in particular is famous for the reason why it was dubbed the way it was and sort of given new music is because of the introduction into the UK, and it garnered like a little cult following for it. Like the last Blu-ray release of it, which I think was last year, was the UK version only. Like if you watch even the one that's on YouTube that I sent, I don't think anybody that's just repurposed somebody else's stuff has put sort of that much effort into it. Like all the parts where it sort of comes up with the team's sort of mugshots, and it's got a lot of Japanese writing underneath. Like in the UK version, they replace all of that, and then they actually fill in all that. So it's got the names, the ages, it's got all of the different things that they've done, why they're in prison.
I paused it on each of them to try to get some clues as to their personality based on their rap sheets. I was a little bit disappointed because they were just kind of generic stuff like illegal firearms and like fraud and murder. But
they're all murderers.
But even still, I'm really leaning towards Cyber City, and I'll tell you why. Because like there's a certain allure to the yokai monster ninja that he fights against, and that's really cool, and each of them is interesting. There's the guy with bees that come out of his back, and there's the girl with the snakes in her vagina, and like those are cool and everything, yeah. But then you really connect more with the heroes, I think. And Cyber City has 3 different heroes with different types of personalities. So like whether you're like the rebel that the devil may care, then you like Sengoku, and if you're like the sort of computer hacker, but you really like anime, then you think Goggles is cool because he has a cool backstory and he has a mohawk. And then like if you're a closet homosexual, then you like Benton, you know. So like whatever your thing is, but like that was a funny way of saying like those are more dynamic heroes, whereas Jubei is basically just the Clint Eastwood with a katana. Yeah. So unless you can convince me.
So Ben, are you saying
in right this now
more does mean better?
Variety, I think, and variety and uniqueness. I think.
I was just screwing with you. I agree.
Going with Cyber City. Yeah, that's all right. Let's talk about Benton real quick before we move on from the character story. I don't understand this. Someone explain this shit to me, because like I know that there's men in the world that like other men. They're called homosexuals. That's fine. I respect that. I know that there's men in the world that think they're women and want to be referred to as women. They're called transsexuals. That's fine. Whatever. There's this phenomena in anime of heterosexual male characters wearing makeup and shit, and trying to be as attractive as possible.
They're called something specific.
Yeah, there's a specific term in Japanese culture and in anime for it. It's that androgynous male. It's all very David Bowie, Ziggy Stardust.
That's it. Yeah,
David Bowie. Like
what they call
that is David Bowie.
Yeah. That's really heavily inspired by David Bowie. It's got to be.
Bishonen. They're called Bishonen.
That's it.
What the fuck is that? Is that a thing that happens in Japan? Are there one out of every?
Once you're done explaining that, can you explain the anime fascination with cats?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I always assumed that it was like the largest, like transsexual meccas in Thailand, right? And I just always assumed that that there are certain physical Asian attributes that look more feminine. Like that'd be more difficult to do in a Western society because we have heavier set features, right?
Yeah.
But look at even things like
I always assumed it had something to do with that,
Well, you
But
know
even
how
things like
they,
K-pop and J-pop, the Korean and Japanese
Yeah.
pop stars, that there's a real kind of androgynous look where they'll be wearing a 3-piece suit with a little pocket handkerchief, but they've got makeup and their hair is styled, and so it's not a trans thing. It's more of just a glamorous kind of.
But is there
male.
a difference between a glamorous male
romantic
and a bishonen?
No, it's
Because,
just
like,
sexual, isn't it? It's just a
because, like,
style.
Well, the homie got red fingernails and deal. Like,
Yeah.
that's another level for me.
I used to play
so,
with
but so
fingernails
did
black.
Motley Crue.
Did you ever see the
and,
rock band Poison?
Yeah.
It's the whole look, right?
Well, is it? So
Come
it's
on,
not
Johnny,
it's,
chime in. You're the youngest and most postmodern.
it's not a
here.
gay thing. It's just a glamour thing.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I think so.
By shonen is to demographically involve women into anime as well, because anime's always been for teenage boys. It's always been a boy thing, like Akira, for example. It's always been teenage boys attracted.
And I'll tell you this about Benton, right? There's an actual fan group for Cyber City, and I was surprised to find out that most of the fans are female.
Yeah.
And their favorite character is Benton, and they do like Benton. What they call them? They do like their own bootleg comics and stuff.
Whenever you watch this back, if you watch this live stream back, the minute that Max says that, I want you to pause it and watch Arya's face.
I'm going to be doing my own Benton fan fiction.
Aria, I want to see a Benton cosplay.
Bleach that hair, bud. If you're going to do it properly and get that hair white.
All right.
I demand it as a follically challenged man.
I wish that I could talk to a Japanese female fan of Cyber City and ask her, why do you like this character? And what is it about a man wearing lipstick that you think is cooler than if this was just a female character?
Girls are more sort of fluid than guys, especially young girls. They all like.
Don't understand.
Fluid.
When I was a teenager, when I was at college the first time, all the art student girls, they were like massively into like what's that fucking band called now? Placebo. Brian Malco. They all loved him because he was, he walked that line of female and man. Of course, as he got older, he just looked like a fat dude with long hair. But when he was in his 20s, I remember seeing him on Top of the Pops, and I thought he was a girl.
Now I understand. I think because I dated a girl that also had a crush on Brian. What's his face from Placebo, and what she explained to me. I don't know if this speaks for anime fans, but what she explained to me is like the same thing with David Bowie. Like they appreciate that their sort of female aesthetic is respected and incorporated by the man, which I can't get into, but that's fine.
It's not
different strokes for different dicks. You know?
I mean, it's not my thing either, but I can definitely see kind of it takes a certain amount of confidence and comfort with yourself and your own sexuality to go out in public wearing a 3-piece suit and glitter lipstick.
I've done it before. It's nothing bad.
What's that?
I've worn lipstick in public. I don't mind it. I mean, it's just more about you just feel so empowered as a male to do it, and you don't really allow yourself to feel negatively affected by comments.
Well, I personally
I think the trend
am ashamed
now
of you for doing. No joking. Did you wear it with the beard?
Yeah.
I think the trend now is that kind of deviant behavior is very much encouraged. But when this came out, I think that wasn't the case. So that was
I encourage all
deviant direction.
I mean, Arya's almost there. He's a feminine looking guy, isn't he? He's an attractive looking. Got some feminine features about him. That's what you're going for, isn't it, Arya? The vampire look.
Yeah.
It's just a bloke with long hair.
When I was younger, I would have rocked. If it got me ass, then I would have rocked whatever.
Well, that's the thing, right?
The thing is, as I got older and more like a bearded potato, it becomes less of an option for you.
Less of an option. Yeah. There's not much you can do with your hair, Max.
No, not really. I mean, I could grow it out, but I look like I had radiation poisoning.
I've given the point to Cyber City for the characters. Let's talk now about the fighting. Which show's got better fighting?
Ninja Scroll.
Yeah.
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 Wow.
It's just better, man. Sword fighting, and it's consistent all the way through. The what I know what Bud is going to say. There's the second episode where he has the brawl with the robot, right? Which is fucking ace.
It is ace.
It is, but it's not like he doesn't actually fisticuff it until the very, very end.
There's
And he
a
only
lot
hits
of
it like
standing
3
still,
times.
firing machine guns.
Yeah, there's a lot of sort of stuff. Whereas in Ninja Scroll, they're actually going for it with swords, and I've got to appreciate that.
Yeah. Also, not only are they going for it with swords, but they're also incorporating all of the different characters' fighting abilities.
Yeah,
like the old guy makes himself into a stick bug to survive with the branch camo, and everybody's got poison this and poison that. The shuriken, and that's used as a plot element to force Jubei to sort of do what the old guy wants him to do. That counts as fighting.
Yeah, and I'll say this as well: that the everything equal, the thing that probably tips it for me is the best anime on-screen headbutt at the end of the film, where he headbutts that guy to death.
Yeah,
and then that is fucking brilliant.
Headbutts his head into the ship floor.
Yeah,
and this was before George R.R. Martin thought of the King for a Crown thing, where what's his face, that annoying prick prince was killed with molten gold. Yeah,
that was
this
great.
guy was killed with molten gold. I really appreciate that when you have a character who can regenerate his body. You got to be really fun with the way that you eliminate him. And so to have the whole body molten and turned to gold and then sunk to the bottom of the ocean, ace. Perfect way to end it. And anyways, I just think that they used those ninja elements really well throughout. Because it was like ninja warfare was not just combat, yeah? Ninja warfare is also espionage and blackmail and intrigue and spying. And that was really woven well into the story. So I'm going to say better fighting goes to Ninja Scroll.
Woo!
Yeah, I'll concede that one. Ninja Scroll's better for fighting.
Which show's got better sexiness?
Ninja Scroll.
Why? What? Tell me.
Okay.
By the way, Jubei and that girl, they never had sex, right? Because she was too much of a how do you say this without getting taken off YouTube? Shall we say not entirely upfront about her feelings? Shall we say manipulative and not being honest about how she felt? And Jubei, total alpha move. He was just like, if you're gonna pretend like you only want to sleep with me because of the poison thing, and you're not gonna admit that you're into me, then fuck you, and walks away. And I was like, yeah, alpha Chad shit. That was really
Did
rad.
she die? I can't remember now. Did she die in the end?
Yeah, she dies.
Yeah, she does.
She dies, but then Jubei is cured from his poison, and it's sort of not explained how that could be, because it's as if he had sex with her, but he never did. And my interpretation is like the Bushido principle of fighting without fighting, and like when that applies to like sexuality, the idea is like the highest form of like intimacy, between erotic intimacy between two people. They don't even have to actually commit the act of coitus, because they're just like spiritually on another level.
That solves the problem with OnlyFans banning nude content. It's all spiritual porn.
Everyone's just got to get on the same wavelength. Just loads of photos of you doing that.
I'm gonna give the sexiness to Ninja Scroll unless someone can convince me. Well, there's not.
Well, I think you totally. I mean, we've gone over the sexiness of Cyber City, and that's the whole episode with Benton.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not into Bishonen.
You never specified what sexiness. You just said.
Well, that is part of the sexiness.
Well, what is
He's
the
a sexy
romance
character.
like in Ninja Scroll? Because that was the Benton episode was like a gothic romance kind of thing. You know, the whole vampires and whatchamacallit.
It was cool, but who's actually in love in that show? Yeah.
No one.
Who actually fucks in that show? Nobody. Yeah.
No.
No.
Well, in
Goggles,
Ninja Scroll,
There's a rape in Ninja Scroll, though, right? So,
Well, that's sexier than not a rape.
and there's the bit where the leader of the Japanese clan is like talking to her while he's shagging.
Yeah. While he's shagging that bird, I like that shit.
What'd you say, brother?
And also, I think it's just really interesting and
Goggles
cool.
got his girl in
What's that?
Cyber City. What the girl that's killed in episode 2? She's quite sexy.
Oh yeah, she was Gugu's girlfriend. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
like
a very
that,
similar. It's a very similar trope
Between the two.
because it's like you're given this glimpse of a relationship that could happen between these two characters that would like give them a kind of a reason to live and make them happy, and then it's taken away and the girl's killed, which is a really ballsy move because like not a lot of shows will kill the female in a love interest. You know, most of the time that doesn't cause sympathy with viewers. So I thought it was really cool that they killed the girls.
Yeah.
But the girl in Ninja Scroll, she's got a really cool ability that her vagina is poisonous, and if anyone touches her vagina, literally the vaginal fluid, they'll die. So like then they'd sexually assault her, die. So that's a pretty cool.
That'll work.
Pretty cool story.
that's
Did that predate X-Men?
I think it did. Yeah.
Why is there a poisonous?
Rogue.
Rogue's
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
Rogue. Well, she's all poisonous. Well, so's the girl from Ninja Scroll.
Poison Ivy's the same gimmick, and
It's
like
a cool gimmick.
Actress, right? It's that whole thing.
It's a cool.
Well, we need
gimmick.
to flip the script, man. I caught with a character with a poisonous dick.
Poison dick. Yeah.
Yeah, but he would never get laid.
Wouldn't that just be toxic masculinity?
Women would see women would.
Well, that would be superhero.
Like very literally.
Yeah.
The like it's acid semen, so like when he comes on the girl, it just kills her.
I'm melting.
He's like fucking her and everything's fine, and then like the money shot is just a kill. You know?
Yeah. So it'd just be like an Aliens.
With fire
Right,
bullets.
exactly. So one thing about Cyber City I thought was really fun was the sort. There's this really tasty like junior police chick that's like getting in trouble and has this hard super crush on Sengoku and is always like insinuating stuff.
Yeah,
But,
I like their relationship.
That was a lot of fun. That was cool, but they didn't really go very far with it.
Yeah, I thought about mentioning her.
I'm gonna have to give sexiness to Ninja Scroll.
I find Google's girl sexier.
Yeah,
Which one?
Gogol's girl is sexier.
Gogol's girl was sexy. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So-
But we didn't explore. I don't know. I feel like we didn't explore her enough. Well, she never gets
Yeah,
naked.
she's only really in that one.
She never gets naked, which is fucking annoying. So
No,
can't give the point to her.
but that could be sexier. Some say.
Yeah, they're wrong. And then the last issue is weird shit. Which of these has got better weird shit?
I mean,
What
I haven't
defines-
seen it, but you guys talking about the woman with the snakes coming out of her vagina. That's pretty weird.
Yeah, Ninja Scroll's definitely got more weird.
I prefer the weird.
I go for Ninja Scroll ever.
I disagree, boys. I prefer the weird shit.
Definitely weird.
I think
You've got a
genre-wise,
snake
it's
coming
more
out-
likely
a
to
snake
have
coming
very
out of a
weird shit,
vagina, a poisonous vagina, a dude that can disappear into shadows that fingers you, a bloke with bees in his back,
too. Japan is just a weird place, man.
a dude that can like morph himself together, that's porking his missus and porking the other guy, that then finds out that he's sleeping with both and then electrocutes her with a bit of wire. It's fucking mental.
Yeah.
A guy
Yes and
operating
no.
like
I'm
a
sure they
full-time
so-
human.
Yeah, and they
Yes
say,
and no. It's also it's all just like commie weird shit for fighting. They're all just ninjas with funny abilities. You know, it's not that interesting.
You didn't say interesting. You said weird.
Okay, it's not that weird. If you look at Cyber City, I think that the weirdness goes deeper because it's like really fuck with your head weird. It's like dead people coming back to life for like personal vendettas. It's like billionaires experimenting, billionaire doctors. The fucking vampire guy? That's basically like Dr. Fauci using all of like the stolen genetic data and medical data to like come up with this immortality serum and like fighting in space. I think Cyber City's got better weird shit.
Well,
yeah.
If you watch Cyber City, right, you've got two very heavily sci-fi episodes, right? And then you get to the third episode and suddenly that universe you're expecting, suddenly you've got a gothic romance story at the tail end. Yeah. If you don't for weirdness, like the tonal shift, that's weird.
You don't really get that in many of cyberpunk stuff.
At the end of the day, the Ninja Scroll story is very, very good, but it's pretty straightforward. You know, it's bad guys fight good guys, and they've got interesting abilities. But the Cyber City thing has all these other components. They've got the neck fucking explosives. You know, they've got people coming back to life from the dead. You know, they've got okay. The weirdest thing of all is that second monster in Cyber City, which is a combination. It's kind of like a gula from Dune. You know, it's like human tissue being combined with technology to create a monster from human stem cells, basically. You know, and from human muscles tissue. Like, that's weird. Yeah, cyborg, but like not a cyborg that's in control of itself,
like RoboCop.
But it's a little bit different because it's not like a dude with cybernetic parts. It's like this
the Borg.
Weird creation that isn't in control of itself, you know. And that's really creepy because it's like, what if people can use technology to manipulate human neural pathways and human brain activity just to create these weapons?
I understand what you're saying.
Creepy.
But I just don't think any of that is as weird as a man with bees in his back.
Oh, that's the point.
Yeah, I didn't think that was so. Well, I've seen a lot of these fucking anime with everybody's got a different ability or whatever. So that doesn't really impress me, the bee thing.
I guess
I understand what you're saying, but none of those are as weird as a woman with a snake in her fanny.
Well, you've never seen a snake in a fanny in real life. That's why
I've seen like snakes in fannies before, just not that sort.
Just not that sort. I don't know, man. This is a hard one to.
See, Ben, I'm kind of the opposite of you. I didn't think that anything. I mean, Cyber City was really great, but as far as the weird stuff, I don't know. There wasn't anything that was. I don't know. Other cyberpunk and other kind of weird sci-fi stuff, you know, Philip K. Dick or any of that kind of stuff, you'd probably find. I don't think anything in Cyber City was any weirder than some of that stuff.
Yeah, so Cyber City is part of like it was called the Cyberpunk Collection. There's two others. There's AD Police 1 to 3, and then the other one's called Genocyber. Yeah. If you watch Genocyber. That's fucking weird.
Yeah.
A lot of fucked up, to be honest.
Am I schizophrenic, or is
there's noises coming from Ben?
Sorry about that. That's my roommate in my room being loud when I asked him to be quiet till I was done with my podcast. Yeah,
it's okay.
Violence. Violence is the answer.
Fight like Gogol.
Krav Maga him.
Right. Well, I'm going for Ninja Scroll on that one.
I'm gonna say Cyber City.
You're gonna say Cyber City's weirder than Ninja Scroll? You're gonna go against your own.
That is the biggest 180 of the whole episode.
I know. That's like
Gianni's whatever you think I am. That's what I'm not.
I know.
Gianni set us up for the last hour.
I
to
know,
just
yeah.
Go,
I said that at the beginning. But he talks shit.
No,
Well, here. Okay, listen. I think we have a.
You made it interesting.
There's a tangential point where these two stories touch that we can kind of talk about. Where we've got like in Cyber City, you've got Dr. Fauci Dracula in the space station, kind of manipulating things to be immortal. And then in Ninja Scroll, you've got Goenma with his scar on his head where it was reattached after his head was cut off. So they've sort of both, these are both characters that have sort of made Faustian deals with the devil, as it were, to be immortal and to be impossible to destroy. They're repeatedly attacked and to survive the attacks. Like Fauci Dracula is sent into dead space and reassembles his body, you know, a la Alien. And then Goenma can get decapitated as many times as necessary and just keeps coming back. But basically, at the end of the day, I think Cyber City has a scarier and a spookier element to it, because it's like this is like gene manipulation and it's like, okay, Goenma is just like, I'm invincible. You've got to destroy my whole body to kill me. Fine, fucking whatever. But then like Fauci Dracula has an interesting thing, because he's actually using blood. He actually needs blood from victims to stay alive. So it's sort of like the same the vampire myth, which is basically like people being afraid of rich people, manipulating them and controlling them to have better lives and to fuck us over. It's sort of reincorporating that same horror element into a modern environment, which actually makes sense and is more scary, in my opinion. And so I think it's a little bit weirder.
Well,
fuck you.
You're allowed to think that, and I'm allowed to think that you're wrong.
Well, I don't know. It seems I'm getting
where we're heading.
An overall trend that we seem to like Ninja Scroll more overall. Once
Oh,
we've
you
really, well, you always say like which one's sexier, Ninja Scroll. Which one's got better characters, Ninja Scroll. Which one's weirder, Ninja Scroll. In every element, you say
Cyber City had more interesting characters.
Right, Cyber City's got more interesting characters, but everything else has gone to Ninja Scroll.
Yeah.
Well, then I guess that.
But
we need to end the show.
What does your heart tell you, Max? Which show is the winner, Max?
Okay, then let me explain this to you.
Okay.
It's Cyber City. That's the better one.
And why though? It's got better characters. It's weirder, even though you don't think so.
Well, the points that we've had to discuss aren't necessarily the pieces that make up why I think Cyber City is better. And also, I'm biased because, you know, I probably grew up watching Cyber City a lot more than I did Ninja Scroll. So I just think Cyber City is just like, if you want to sit down and like it entertained immediately, Cyber City's it, man. It's just it.
So basically,
it's just so much fun.
Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain, but low key, all three of us prefer Cyber City. We're just having trouble justifying why we like it more.
I don't have trouble.
Because there's a lot of really cool elements to Ninja Scroll that we've acknowledged, but Cyber City is just a slightly better show, I think. So we'll give it to him on story. So that's 4 points to 3. Cyber City wins.
I thought maybe we were going to end up with a draw.
If all else fails, just rig the election, right?
Yeah, exactly. If all else fails, add something that we can then give that point to the thing that we want.
See, we've got a box of ballots that I hadn't noticed before.
Yeah, we need a little mail-in ballot overlay for this video.
Yeah, it's really funny. We got mail-in ballots,
Oh,
and
look,
they're all
it's
for Cyber City.
nostalgia.
Yeah, nostalgia. There's another element, nostalgia. Cyber City. No, we all prefer Cyber City. Closing statements.
Johnny doesn't. Look at
Tell
his
me
little face.
why.
Oh,
Johnny doesn't.
Can we just make Johnny's face a bit bigger, please?
Yeah, we can do
no,
that.
please don't do that.
Go on, do it.
What's the matter, Johnny?
Come on, Johnny.
You've got a good face.
Pop his face up on the
I
screen.
like your face.
Look at his little disappointed face. Look, he basically is a samurai. No wonder he wants Ninja Scroll to win.
Oh, is that why?
Yeah. My heritage was a samurai.
Oh, mate.
Yeah.
Are you part Japanese?
No, I'm Armenian, born British.
Are there Armenian samurai?
I have to find that out for you and come back. I don't know.
There should be.
Probably will be. I don't know.
Be the first. Get yourself some armor.
See, the guy Henderson knows.
Mm.
And the snake pussy.
That's what we all just keep coming back to that, don't we?
And the Bee Man was pretty cool.
Honestly,
Yeah,
think that Snake's getting its own series.
Genocyber is a really cool one as well.
That snake lady is pulling a lot of weight in the weird department and the sexy department for Ninja Scroll.
Man, that's true. That's a good point. We've done a lot of anime, I think, this week and last. We should do something else.
Yeah, we've been on a bit of an anime kick. I've been watching nothing but Dragon Ball Z and Cyber City for the past 2 weeks.
Oh,
It's a rough life, Arya.
I want to change it up. I want to do something not anime.
Go on then.
I don't know what though. I'm really into Star Wars.
So when are we going to do the Benton
What?
special?
Are you not into Star Wars, Maximus?
I like Star Wars, but I mean, I like some Star Wars.
Well, I think we should do a show where we just talk about. All right, I'm going to say goodbye to our guests. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for joining us.
Cheers, guys.
You're welcome anytime.
thank you.
Really enjoyed the input and cheers, man. That was awesome.
Thank you. Bye.
Easy J.
One of my favorite things about this show is that we always have different faces on, different people pop in.
Yeah.
That's a lot of fun for me. All right, we should wrap up, Cyber Cities. At the end of the day, right? It's just an executive decision, isn't it? We just all like it more. Arya, why is
I like the way
it
you
better?
just took the power away from anybody that came.
Why is it a better show? I've been very clear. This is a dictatorship where I have final
tell you
say.
guys something. Look at this. Okay?
Yeah, you're right,
This
boy.
is all the reason I need. This is Motley Crue. This is David Bowie. This
Motley
is,
Crue. Yeah.
This is everything I'm after
Saturday
in
morning
media.
dictatorship.
You know, this one episode is enough to justify the whole argument for me. Just episode
So
3.
are you being
Is that your
funny,
favourite episode, dude?
or do you really enjoy that character?
No, this is like every character I've ever liked in every like.
Mate, I told you, Benton's the most popular character.
Well, it's not just the whole androgyny thing. He's also a badass. Like he's the only one who does the whole fisticuffs kind of fighting. Like, and he's like a ninja. He's like super acrobatic and all that. You know. Like,
I would argue that Gogol's harder.
maybe
I like Goku.
It's like Snake Guy.
Well, actually, my
or-
favorite is Sengoku.
Yeah,
Sengoku.
Well, there you go. Then we all fit in a category.
Yeah, see,
don't we?
here's the thing. It's like the Ninja Turtles thing, right? Like I like Benton. What are you, Max? Goggles?
Yeah.
And
I always like the hard guy. The big hard
Yeah.
guy is always my favorite.
Yeah, Max is the big hard guy with the
I'm the
cool
skinny-
with the goggles. Arya's the skinny, like badass. With
is he
like
gay?
cool.
Is he?
Is he gay? Is he straight? I don't know. But he can kill a vampire. And then
Yeah.
I'm just like the straightforward. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, you're the one that
Talking
talks
shit.
shit.
I'm the one that talks shit.
With him as well.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
that's why Cyber City's better
Yeah.
because it's got appeal to different character types. Yeah. Yeah. So we just arbitrarily decided that having better characters just counts more than all the other categories.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing matters. Fuck everything. No, it's a great show. Cyber City is the winner. So if you're keeping track at home, we've got Arthur's Knights of Justice, which defeated.
Does that go up against Cyber City next?
It might do.
Maybe at the end of the year we do a
No. Well, we need to do.
Cyber City's gonna fucking crush that.
We'll make they won't go against each other straight away. We have to do a bunch of other ones so that there's like semifinals and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But they all advance. So if we have 8 shows to start and then we go by eliminating them, we've got 2 that advance to the semifinal round. We'll do that again. So we've got Arthur's Knights of Justice and we've got Cyber City Oedo as the winners. I kind of fancy talking about Star Wars lightsaber colors because we got that new that poster from The Mandalorian season 3.
Oh, I've not seen
I'm
it.
ready. Let's
Quite
go right
literally
now.
ready.
Double episode.
I like. I don't know.
Who's making that noise?
That's my
It's his
lightsaber.
lightsaber.
Oh, that was your lightsaber. Have you guys seen this? You know what I'm talking about?
The poster.
Yeah,
No, I've not seen it.
What are you on about?
The poster for The Mandalorian, the new series.
I'm gonna show it. Share my screen. This one, you see it?
Huh.
Oh,
So we got Luke Skywalker. That's cool. We got Grogu. That's
So they're
fucking
bringing
interesting.
Luke back into it.
I thought those were wads of cash like Grogu was throwing, stripping.
Yeah, mate. Grogu is with Luke Skywalker at the moment. He's still going to be a character in the show.
Oh, and he's building his lightsaber. I
He's
see.
building his lightsaber.
Orange crystal.
And it's got a yellow crystal. So Grogu's going to be a yellow lightsaber using
Did you hear
Jedi.
the
I don't
guy
know
that-
what yellow means, Ben. What's a yellow lightsaber? Well,
It
next
means
week
you like butter.
Next week we'll talk about yellow
Can't believe it's not
lightsabers.
butter.
We'll talk about blue lightsabers. We'll talk about green lightsabers. Everybody can call and telling us why they like which kind of lightsabers they like. And we'll talk about. Well, actually, it's very interesting the difference between green lightsabers and blue lightsabers for Jedi. So I think we could talk for an hour about which one we'd want to use.
Is the green one vegan?
Yeah.
Blue one's soy.
So basically, the blue lightsabers are like fighters.
Yeah.
Blue lightsabers are like the elite duelist Jedi, and the green lightsabers are like the spiritual, like theologian Jedi that know the Force better.
Okay.
So we can talk about that, and then we could plug that into Rokon, because like Rokon's both.
Okay, should we assign our own characters the lightsaber?
Yeah. Every character you've ever created, what color lightsaber would you use?
Okay, that's interesting.
All right, I think we're done talking shit.
Okay.
Cyber City Oedo is the winner. Watch more anime, read more comic books, but go back Rokon on Indiegogo, back The Adventures of Taylor in Outer Space on Indiegogo. Tune in next week. We love you all. Let's end with the video here. Which one is it? This one.
As we've just seen, drugs make your problems go away. So make it the best day possible. Remember, it's drugs that counts. Take one and take a chance.
Saturday morning cartoons.